foundation of human understanding teaches an observation exercise, often called meditation, which permits you to become objective toward your problems and allows your heartaches, bad habits, fears, and anxieties to be completely eliminated from your life without effort on your part. Until you have begun to practice this exercise, much of what you see and hear on the following program may be shocking and upsetting to you. But if you will listen calmly and with an open mind, you may discover the key to the peace of mind and joy for which you've been searching all of your life. And now, from the foundation of human understanding, here is Roy Masters.
I just welcome you, the audience. The audience knows me very well. They often come here to listen to what I have to say, and many people have been coming here for years. There's always something good to discover, always. And because you come, you bring the best out of me. And otherwise I'm useless. And so are you. There's got to be some kind of understanding of what's making the world go round and down, you see. And I've been given a gift to help you understand what you could never understand on your own. And if you did, you wouldn't have a mouthpiece to share it. I have 150 stations now, and most of them I don't have to pay for. But 9 of them I do, that it costs about $32,000 every month. This 9. But the others are commercial stations that are picking me up now. So something magical is happening. Okay? Everything bad happens for good, for those who love the Lord. It's taken me all these years, just with those 9 stations, all of a sudden, you know, our station got under attack, and the rep firms wouldn't pay us, and then we start to collapse. But we still got 500 stations loyal to us, and they're putting me on. So, speaking to you as a small number of people here in a little town is more than you think. There's hundreds of thousands of people listening. Whether they support the program or not is up to them. But I'd like to preface my remarks that if you like what you hear and it helps you, please support the foundation of human understanding. Because as I started to say, when we stopped and we had to adjust my microphone, that my biggest love is not just for you. You're the ones that are being protected for your freedom, which you're wasting. Most people waste, not you. You are beginning to abide by the light of the inner spirit. But most people do not know that even if they're Christians, which is the highest form of every religion, if it's understood properly, and not verse and chaptered, see, like a actor on the stage. It's a transcending of the need for verses and chapters, and for learning the religion and acting it out on the stage of life. And so you are learning to be whole and complete, but our soldiers are defending now, without them understanding it, a country that has been changed, so that the one of 2 options that human beings have is to love what's right or love what's wrong. And there's a freedom from right to do wrong, and a freedom from wrong to do right. And most Americans have chosen or been corrupted. That's the word. They didn't choose it. I want to make it very clear. You do not choose to be a bad person. Nobody's born a bad person. Nobody. Not even Adolf Hitler. It's the environment into which you were born, and there are forces at work that have changed the face of this country so that we think that freedom is pleasure, and money, and sex, and drugs. And as it rises to the occasion of your need for fulfillment, you become a bigger fool. You become worse. All that which makes you feel better and elevates you and makes you feel more like a person makes you less. And this is what I'm going to be talking to you about in this session today. And I don't really want to lecture, because some of the things I'm going to say are principles. And the principles that I'm going to be speaking about, you may know in your intellect, but not able to express it in your life, in the way of life you have. You know what right and wrong is. I know all you do. You think you understand what good and bad is, and so therefore you try to do good, but that's too bad, because you don't know what good is. But you think you do, and you keep trying. There's a principle there. And the more you struggle to make yourself better, the worse you get. So you can have the most shining face, comeliness, the most shining of all, and still be tormented and die from a horrible disease like cancer. And then people will say, why do good people die young like that? Well, you see, they are trying to be good by giving of themselves to everybody. But they're giving of themselves, meaning they're giving their life force that God gave them, in other words, by default, to other people. So, to make it clear, as I speak to you, I have not prepared anything, never do, never. Nothing in my life is ever prepared, ever. I don't know what I'm going to do next, nor do I plan for what's next. I just deal with what's next, with what is in me, to deal with it. So it feels like me, it senses, it is the sense of, or the illusion of, that it's Roy that's doing this. Roy is clever. But Roy is not clever. Roy is not smart. Roy isn't the master of his destiny. I don't create my future or plan for it. I'm just doing what I'm told when I speak to you. So, to just make that point about being good, it's not good if you love me and think I have cured you. Let's say you've been cured of a disease, or of a mental problem, or your family life gets better. You can appreciate me, but you cannot think of me highly as a good person. Only God is good. The person is just the mouth speaker. You know, what do they call it? The messenger. The messenger and the loudspeaker. See, the messenger. It's just like you're listening to the radio. The radio is not any good to you. You hear nice things on the radio, but the radio isn't even says all the wonderful things in the world. The radio isn't doing it for you. It's what's behind the radio, in a manner of speaking, to make it a point.
Interpreter boy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Please don't talk, Anne, until you have a microphone. Okay. She wants to talk so much.
No.
So we talk so much. Can you just be quiet here, just for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, where do I start from? First of all, my goal, or a goal. And it just comes to me that this is necessary. I have to help this country recover. There isn't anybody else who knows what to do. Now, I'm soft-spoken, or I can be loud. And today, because of my voice, I've been yelling at my wife a lot. So, I'm speaking a little bit more quietly. But when it will come to a point where I can start to raise my voice a little bit. But what I really want in life, as long as I'm here,
Money.
yeah, money. That's right. Yes, money. Yes, I don't like to say it. You see, it's very hard for me to say that. And I'm not speaking to my audience here necessarily. I'm speaking to everybody who hears what I'm saying over the internet. And if I could help, if I can get to enough people, but especially the wounded warriors who have post-traumatic stress disorder, I'd like them to be here and to invite them and pay their fare to come here from all over the country. And I would spend the rest of my life and every day to help fix that, while doing the radio show at the same time. I can do that. And I will do that. As old as I am, I can do it till I'm 100. And even if it's a little squeak, I still want to do it. And even if I die, you just put my head on the stick and make my mouth move and put tape on. And then you can see me, all made up. No, but the thing is, I need to save those soldiers, they're dying. So you've forgotten what happened in the VA, with all the VA domiciliaries, right? They only did was change the chief cook and bottle washer, the head of whatever it is. I don't know what moniker you give them. But the people who are neglecting our soldiers are still there, allowing them to die. The horror is everywhere. You should see the letters I'm getting from all over the country. Even in England, it's happening that way. The nurses will make sure that a blind... I got the story, but I won't tell you all of it because it's a horrible story. But there's a lady who is a nurse, and she's also a chemist. And she went to work in a hospital in Wales. We have an extension of the foundation in England, UK. And we have radio programs there in Ireland, in the Republic of Ireland, and broadcasting to England. And he writes and says, my wife worked in a hospital and the nurse had a blind veteran from World War II. And she kept the food out of his reach. So he has frustration because he's not worth it. See, he needs to suffer. There is that going on everywhere. Even in our own civilization, there's cruelty everywhere. Well, it's been nice having you. I do hope you enjoy our grounds. And maybe you can get Tim to give you a ride around in his four-wheel drive little tractor and see how beautiful our friend has made this place and how grateful we all should be in an invisible person who doesn't like to boast about what he does. Thank you very much. We have to listen. Did you bring sandwiches? No?
Yes, we do.
Okay, but if you didn't, and if you still want sandwiches, we got sandwiches. No charge. You just give a donation wherever it is, and that pays for it. Okay?
Thank you.
And enjoy the place. You go fishing. Bring your fishing rod.